think we're good. Okay, press play, and yeah, I'm very curious to see how it all works out. And as we expected, Smolder is heading top. And he's going to fight Orn. Well, I don't think he's going to fight Orn, but he's going to, lane versus him. Starting Dorn's Ring, which is the usual start for Smolder, and then the Fleet Footwork is just added sustain. And I think also is just a better option here since you're not looking to kill Orn. He's simply too tanky to kill. And Smolder is not even a champion that specializes in killing people early game anyway, so it just makes sense. It's sensible. No level 1 moves from either side. We just see them lined up very neatly along along the river from both sides. No one willing to rear their head. Oh, but now we see Oppenheimer putting down some vision on Raptors. That's going to get cleared out by Hakes. Decided to switch to Sweeper, and that actually paid off. Oppenheimer won't have perfect information as to where Hikes started, but they can kind of sort of deduce, maybe, like, as the ward was dimming, they saw him move upwards, so I guess maybe they will deduce that he started red buff instead of Raptors. And now he's moving to Raptors. Now this bot lane should be favored early game for the Harvey J Angel's side. Range support versus melee, that's just how it usually goes. They get the level 2 push early, they have more abilities as they enter level 2. And, a champion like Rel especially, just has to respect. Not really a lot she can do level 1. Yeah, this top lane matchup should be very uneventful unless the junglers show up. And as I say that, Aches looking for something level 3, but that ward was right on time from Provecho. That's going to spot the Jarvan. And I think with Smolder, well, I think honestly, yeah, Hakes could wait a little bit and maybe I think there's still an option to kill. Yeah, Hikes is waiting around, just waiting for the opportune moment. Now they're going to get the gank onto Provecho. They're going to... Actually, the Ghost is not popped. And in response, Oppenheimer is looking to gank bot lane, and they successfully burn Granny's Banner's flash. Duke of Jamming used his own Ghost to try and chase down targets, but there was... that was nowhere to a kill. I think they needed a lot more damage to get that one. Provecho actually getting some decent damage onto the Jarvan. Making sure that he cannot repeat this gank. That's already a lot of time dedicated towards that top side. Now he has to keep clearing. If he doesn't want to get his jungle stolen on the other side of the map. Luke Caruana's Talia is not the usual AP choice we're accustomed to when we talk about this player. It's usually the Gragas. Sometimes it was the Echo as well. But Talia, not as much. That is the Gwen Skatani champion in Season 10, at least. Very, very often used by Harmonix. Now Luke Caruana venturing into Raptors, and right as they spawn, he's just going to take them down, so really good timing from him. And then it's probably just going to move in to a Skull Crab topside, take that, and look for grubs afterwards. really close on that recall interrupt. Unfortunately, did not get it. Oppenheimer, they will secure probably the full package when it comes to these Void Grubs. Uh-oh. Riftmark in some trouble. But it will not be a Smolder solo kill. Yeah, that happening pre-6 would have been quite confusing, honestly. I don't think any kind of solo kill should happen in this lane this early, but hey. Riftmark did manage to get away with his life. Now Harvey's Angels respond to the Void Grub's play. With a play of their own, they're going to secure Cloud Drake. I think in this exchange, Harvey's Angels are fine just stacking dragons. Very nicely placed Fear there by Small Twink, completely negating the danger. Now a good trade from the Harvey's Angels bot lane, but a good response from Duke of Jamming. Heavy trading on both sides. Ezreal quite low. And here comes Luke Caruana as this wave is about to crash. But a good route from Granny Spanner could lead to a kill. Time Gear Arcane shifts forward, but he is unaware that the Talia was there in the brush, just waiting for him to make a move. And that is a 2-for-1 trade for Oppenheimer. Really nice counter by the blue team here. And Varus gets both of these kills. Big loot for them. Harvey's Angels, they jumped right at the opportunity, but yeah, Luke Caruana, who, you know, he has an affinity to play towards one side of the map if he thinks it's sensible to do so. He's going to reap the rewards. And he's going to use some of these unorthodox pathings. Yeah, lane ganks like this tend to sting the most. You don't really expect these in particular. But smart junglers will utilize them. And actually, Luke Caruana coming back towards bot lane. They know Granny Spanner does not have flash yet, and they will capitalize. Time Gear, Arcane shifts forward and actually gets a revenge kill onto Talia. He wants to fight back, but Duke of Jamming gets another double. As Oppenheimer will gladly take this 1-for-2 trade once again, and Varus is going to base with a lot of gold in his back pocket here. Really close to finishing his Blade of a Ruined King this early into the game. Super big spike. I would say it does make sense for him to go on hit considering the opponents he's facing in a vacuum. But then you think about what is going to happen in the team fights, and he doesn't really have that much protection, if I'm being honest. Like, maybe there's some, like, conditional zone control that Oppenheimer could utilize, but there's only one, you could say, true frontliner on this team. And it's not even a top laner, it's a support. So, limited options that Oppenheimer have when it comes to the team fights. Not a lot of bodies that can just stand in front of the Varus, making sure that he can dish out the damage. Now Hypes with a nice EQ onto the Varus. Duke of Jamming has already used his flash, and he's completely trapped in this situation. Harvey's Angels, they jump right onto the opportunity. They take the bounty, and that evens out things here in the bot lane. Pyke's not resting on his laurels, making sure that the bot lane can also be a factor in this game. They will rely on this Ezreal for sure when it comes to the team fights. Oh my goodness, the Shocker taking a lot of punishment. Almost falls. True Shot Barrage comes in, but it misses Varel. Tangir will get his kill anyway. But Talia is here, and he's going to get the 1-for-1. some brazen gameplay here from Time Gear. And that's how Harvey's Angels managed to get things going for themselves once again, but hot damn. Hikes is here. He's actually not going to get the kill. The Shocker just barely manages to get it. Luke Caruana still wants to chase, but that Mystic shot range is quite dangerous, and he's already very low. Yuna is here to try and get something on Verome, but he's kind of a slow champion. Now he pops his summoners, trying to get Luke Caruana. He will do so. He still has Sanguine Pool, so he's fine here. He's going to use it just in time to dodge the Hui's abilities. And all the healing still keeps him alive, while Small Twink is completely isolated under his tower, but somehow he gets a kill in return onto the Ezreal, and that's a shutdown. So much happening in this bot lane, and we still have a mostly even gold situation. You're looking at the scoreboard right now. Despite all that's happened, we're still pretty much on even ground, and that is ridiculous. Uh-oh. Is this... I thought that was quite dangerous for Provecho. Riftmark has his ultimate. You know, considering the base damage that Ornn possesses in his kit, I think it was safe to assume that he would continue the trade. But maybe he wasn't sure of the enemy jungler's positioning on the map. If you look at Smolder's stacks right now, he's already at 117 at 12 minutes. And with this upgrade, his first upgrade with the explosion, the AoE explosion on his Q, just makes sure that he gets those stacks even faster. So I think he's on track to get to that, you know, 200, 225 number at about 20 minutes. Now Riftmark actually goes in. Provecho takes flight to try and dodge the ram. He did not do so, but Riftmark does not have the range to keep chasing. But now the Smolder's dangerously low. Can Hikes capitalize? Provecho has the vision, but that's only in the tri-bush. I think that's going to be that. I think Opbenheimer should be very happy that Smolder did not receive any jungle attention in these first, you know, almost 15 minutes of the game. Has a slight gold lead. Continues to stack his Dragon Practice. Spear of Shojin already completed. Things are looking quite good as it stands. But we'll have to see what happens next. Both teams continue to scale up here. Nice combo from Small Twink there to interrupt. Hikes goes in straight onto Luke Caruana. Luke Caruana burns his flash, but he should fall here with the Hemo Plague amp plus the damage from the rest of his team. Nice trade there from Oppenheimer, but there is another kill going the way of Harvey's Angels. They win out on this skirmish. Small Twink with some nice trading. I feel like Harvey's Angels maybe were looking for a dive here, but it gets called off. Duke of Jamming has some free time to get the crashed wave and maybe even threaten this tower take. Hikes is not going towards his position. Yeah. He could have kept going if he actually knew where Jarvan was, but I guess, you know, Oppenheimer did not have perfect information, so they probably just told Varus, hey, you could be in danger here if you continue to just auto-attack the tower over and over again. Yuna quite low, still has Sanguine Pool. Can he get away from this situation? Nice dodge from all the abilities. But rocks do not touch him right now. The flash over the wall, and he gets out. In a 1v3 situation, Vladimir notoriously Very hard to kill. And that sequence just now was exactly, you know, one of the reasons why. Oh my goodness, the Shocker was just caught napping there. Trying to rotate towards the bot lane turret, but just gets caught by the Brute and falls on the spot. And this advantage for Harvey's Angels bot lane, it just continues to grow. We were in a spot just not too long ago where Duke of Jamming was the one who was 4 kills up. And now it's Time Gear with the advantage in items. They took down the bot lane turret, and now they can rotate towards probably the mid lane. That should happen soon, as we are just 1 minute away from the next dragon. Harvey's Angels already at 2. As now Ezreal is moving towards mid. Harvey's Angels probably looking to just keep mid pressure going, making sure that waves are pushed in and they have the priority when it comes to moving. Rift actually disconnected for a while. I don't think that would stop Smolder from taking the turret there, but he does take it. Still about like 8.5 CS per minute on the Smolder. Continues to stack. We look at the stacks, 175 right now. I think by 20 minutes he should be able to get to that third breakpoint where Smolder does become a very, very powerful champion, even without the items. Now he TPs towards the fight. It's 2 teleports for Opbenheimer. They want to contest this, but what can they do without their front line? Smolder ult goes down very nicely, just catches a lot of Harvey's Angels members, but it's Harvey's Angels that have the better front line. They have the better initiation. Yuna dives onto the back line. He doesn't take down Smolder. The fight continues. Riftmark goes onto the little dragon. I don't think Provecho can kite away from this situation. They want to keep going here. Harvey's Angels should be able to take down everyone. Provecho continues to burn down Harvey's Angels members. Somehow he's still alive, despite all that happened, but it doesn't change the fact that Harvey's Angels win the fight. It wasn't without casualties. It's Harvey's Angels as well that have to take recalls to keep the contest going for this dragon. By the looks of things, it's actually Oppenheimer that have the tempo and they just go straight for it. They recognize that Harvey's Angels have used up a lot of important abilities to get this dragon. And now it's a tough situation to try and retake, but Harvey's Angels will try and go for it regardless. Luke Caruana taking so much poke. Time Gear just disposes of him like it's nothing. And Harvey's Angels are going to take the dragon. Hikes secures it with his own smite. Very nicely done. Time Gear on this Ezreal. That is one of his signature picks. He's making great use of it right now. Playing aggressively. That is exactly how you want to utilize this champion. And from the dragon, they go to the mid turret and they take that down as well. Slowly, this advantage of theirs is building up. That is one very big problem for Oppenheimer. They want to be able to lock down this Ezreal, but it's going to be tough. Oh my god. As I say that, Time Gear and Yuna just catch Luke Caruana unawares as he was clearing his Gromp. Now Duke of Jamming tries to get a revenge kill, but he won't do so. Time Gear just barely gets away. And he has to flash Small Twink's QW as well. Manages to do it just in time. Oh, the hail of arrows slows down Yuna. Actually, will be forced to use Sanguine Pool just to dodge the tower aggro. He dodges the arrow as well. Duke of Jamming, I think he's a dead man walking. Joven may not have a lot of damage, but he does have enough damage to take down a Varus with 300 HP. once again. Maybe a little bit of a close call in some respects, but Harvey's Angels, they know their limits and they continue to win those fights. But now Time Gear is not here, and I don't know how much Harvey's Angels should be going forward into the Oppenheimer jungle. I think this would be an apt timing to just take the recall and go for a fight another day. That is exactly what they're going to do. Some important item breakpoints coming in for Harvey's Angels right now. 3 items for Ezreal. Novori Quickblade's Essence Reaver completed. Leandri's Anguish, or Leandri's Torment actually, and Rabadon's Death Cap for the Vladimir. So plenty of AP that also translates to HP for this champion, don't forget. So he actually gets tanky as he builds damage. Oh, another arcane shift forward onto the Smolder. Smolder may have a little bit of a problem trying to dish out damage in these fights. Some good initiation options from Harvey's Angels, as well as an Ezreal just pelting out these Mystic shots one after another. Oppenheimer feeling the pressure from Harvey's Angels marksman specifically. Clearing out the vision as well. It's getting dark where Oppenheimer wants to make sure that they have the vision. It's getting dark there. The Baron pit. They want to make sure that this Baron does not go the way of Harvey's Angels. HA committing to this Baron while Ornn is way up there. And he's going to get caught out by the Smolder, and the rest of Harvey's Angels are falling low as they try to take down the Baron. If there's just one casualty from this fight, I think it should be okay, but it's going to be more than that as the Smolder burns down the Ezreal on the back there, and Yuna dies as well, so it's a trade of 3 kills for Oppenheimer in exchange for a Baron. I'm not sure why it was necessary to stand so far back from the team. I suppose it's fine for Ornn to be sort of a linebacker here. But when you're this far away from the team, there's no one to help you, it's an easy pick for Oppenheimer. And that leads to some trouble for Harvey's Angels as now they try to contest the dragon. But some important sums are down now. Can they still go for it? And also you see the Smolder on the other side getting stronger with time. The Hui at 2.5 items now. There's a lot of ranged abilities that they can create the picks with, but Luke Caruana once again walks up way too far forward. Oh, the mom gets called out once again, and it actually kills Hikes. That is a snipe from Provecho. That evens out things. Both teams now don't have a jungler. Time Gear walking forward, but the Smolder burn is ticking. This is dangerous. Not sure if Harvey's Angels wants to continue this. Duke of Jamming snipes out Riftmark from range, and this is what we were talking about. They may not have the front line, but they do have the range advantage. So Harvey's Angels, every time they walk up like this, they need to have a plan on how to access the important targets. If they cannot do that, then how can they really play the game? By the looks of things, Oppenheimer actually able to deny this Dragon Soul. Time Gear coming in, but True Shot Barrage comes out early. Will not challenge Luke Caruana's Smite. And Oppenheimer, they hold on to this game. The Smolder is now a looming threat for Harvey's Angels. Deceptively tanky as well. You have to remember, Triforce has health in its components. Spear of Shojin has health in its components. Now he's building magic resist versus the Vladimir Vizira, like all of the magic damage on Harvey's Angels. He's going to be really tanky, really hard to just burst down. So for Harvey's Angels, it's going to have to be a clean initiation. The fights have to be short in order for them to win out on these situations, and they might just get a pick onto the Shocker as he is isolated from his team. A lot of damage came in, and Rel is not really the tankiest of targets. Harvey's Angels continue their push forward. Opbenheimer a little bit late on the rotation, which means this tower should go down. Smolder calls his mom once again, but it's not going to stop Harvey's Angels from pushing. Granny Spanners, Leandri's DOT will finish the job. Talia falls once again. It's 8 deaths for Luke Caruana this game. Oppenheimer are certainly not ready to defend the tier 2 turret. That is just as much as Harvey's Angels are able to get right now. Although there's one juicy turret right here that is really low, and looks like Yuna will just be able to take it for free. Four turrets to one right now. Harvey's Angels. Some troubles have appeared in team fights, but they're pushing the pace of the game forward. It's not as fast as they would like to, perhaps, but things are progressing nonetheless. Now, unfortunately for Harvey's Angels, I don't see an item that Ezreal can upgrade. When it comes to Ornn upgrades, I don't think any of the items that Ezreal's building right now can actually be upgraded. That's not a terrible thing to be worrying about, but it could be like a nice bonus that Harvey's Angels could make use of. Anyways, Harvey's Angels onto the Baron Pit, and it will force a response from Oppenheimer as now they approach the Baron. Now Riftmark closer to his team will provide the protection. Smolder's ult comes out. It will just hit the jungler. Yuna comes in into the backline. Luke Caruana so low. He's actually just going to fall to the Tides of Blood. Smolder takes out the Vladimir in response. He hikes onto the backline. Juke of Jamming almost dead. But look at Smolder. He's still putting out the damage. He will not hit the Ezreal. So Harvey's Angels will be able to win the fight. Smolder doing a lot, but it will not be enough, as Time Gear is the primary carry for this team. He puts out the damage. Can he secure the kill on the Nexus here? Not a lot of time on some of these death timers. It's 5 seconds until Talia. I don't think Harvey's Angels can end the game here. Looks like they are trying, but it's not going to be enough, I think. Talia and Rel should be able to defend this. Time Gear nicely timed Arcane Shift, but Riftmark falls anyway. Time Gear wants to keep going, but he's alone in this fight. And he has to concede. But now Oppenheimer smell blood. They want to keep chasing. Will the support go down? Forces out the flash. Time Gear is here, though. And they will get the kill onto the Ezreal. The overextension on the inhibitor take could spell trouble for Harvey's Angels, as now they do not have enough damage to take this dragon in time. Oppenheimer are contesting. The jungler isn't there. but the rest of Oppenheimer is still contesting the dragon. Hikes will secure the Dragon Soul, but some more members of Harvey's Angels could fall here. Yuna is still alive though. Juke of jamming flashing in, but Yuna keeps healing up the damage. Double kill for him. Now Sang will pull to dodge the remaining abilities. And this Vladimir is huge. Luke Caruana now comes in. Takes down the Jarvan. I think that's going to be the end of that. For now. I don't know if Harvey's Angels can... do they have enough damage to get the Baron here? Rovecho 15 seconds on his death timer. He does not have teleport. Time Gear's already here. This looks like a free Baron for Harvey's Angels. It's not the end of the game. Yet. But Harvey's Angels can feel quite comfortable in the position that they are now. We see these problems arise for Oppenheimer. Have a lot of damage on their most important carries, but when push comes to shove, Harvey's Angels are just able to force on the targets that they want to and secure the kills. There's not a lot stopping this Vladimir from just barreling onto your backline and just killing them outright without a lot of counterplay. Small Twink pushing the side lane, but he's going to get caught by the call of the Forge God. The retaliation from Oppenheimer will not come in time. Luke Caruana looks like he'll be the next one to fall. Nice shove though from Luke Caruana, actually. That diffuses the situation. But it's still just that one kill. Smolder at 4 items now. Rapid Fire Cannon and Koenig Brookern as well. Oh, look at that! Look at that combo! The Ezreal just disappeared before our eyes, and that is enough to repel the push. Oppenheimer. They will live to fight another day. Oh, the burn is going to kill the Syra! That is another shutdown going the way of Smolder. And this is just a priority pick that you cannot ignore in draft. As is now demonstrated by Oppenheimer, even when he's not ADC, you know, he can be picked top lane, into a tank, just get a free scaling lane, get to a position just like this, and just carry the team fights. Right now, he's public enemy number 1. Obviously, I don't think he'll be able to, you know, carry team fights alone once everyone else is dead, but, you know, give him enough time in a team fight, and Harvey's Angels will have to sweat a little bit to try and end this game. Trade of flashes right here for Small Twink and Riftmark. 33 minutes in, and it looks like Oppenheimer, for now, with all the damage on their carries and the range that they possess, just repelling the siege from Harvey's Angels, but cannot forget the Devil's Elder Dragon that is going to spawn in 2 minutes. And I believe Oppenheimer cannot just let them have it for free. Luke Caruana on the sidelines looking for a pick, but Ornn is not a champion that you can kill in several seconds. Not when he has these items in his inventory. Harvey's Angels continue to push. They are fine with waiting. They recognize that they have plenty of champions that can stand their ground in late game team fights. They accept the rules of the game right now that are being set by Oppenheimer. They want to play the patient game as well. They're willing to just wait for the objective. Don't make any unnecessary moves on the map right now. Although now they're looking for a pick, as Oppenheimer are just going as 5, trying to go through bot lane to get access to Elder. But now we're in a bit of a troublesome situation, as Riftmark might just call his ult to tip the scales in Harvey's Angel's favor, but he's taking a lot of damage. He misses the ram, actually. He's just going to fall here. Yuna dives in after him, but he does not Sanguine Pull in time, and Smolder takes the kill. It's a 2-for-1 for Oppenheimer, as there's 15 seconds until the Elder Dragon. Now it's getting tense. Oppenheimer will take the recalls in time, and looks like they will be able to contest this. It's 40 seconds on Vladimir, 30 seconds on Ornn. More than enough time for Oppenheimer to get mid-push going and just walk towards the river. Although, look at this. A lot of damage on the Elder Dragon, as Ezreal has plenty of DPS. Granny Spanner blocking the way. He's going to just take down Luke Caruana. He might fall for it, but I think he's going to be perfectly happy with that, as now there is no opportunity for a 50-50 smite fight. But Duke of Jamming charges his arrow anyway. He will not find the kill on the dragon. It's Harvey's Angels who take the Elder. Very nicely done there by Granny Spanner to completely prevent the steal from happening. But now Riftmark, he's on the flank already. He was looking for something here. He's going to have a 1-for-1 trade, but they don't have Yuna on the spot, and they're taking the fight anyway. That could be disastrous for Harvey's Angels, as Free already fall, and Yuna is all alone trying to take down Oppenheimer, the Smolder, and the Varus, but he won't get any kills. Harvey's Angels getting a bit too hasty, and it's costing them right now. It's giving Smolder more time to boost up his damage. The magic damage threats on Oppenheimer's team also getting stronger. I mean, you know, Luke Caruana, he may have 10 deaths, but he's still approaching 4 items, so his number of deaths does not really matter. And the Shocker has to tank this Baron. Even as he does that, the health bars on Oppenheimer will continue to go down. Granny Spanner, no fear in his heart, is just going to take down the Shocker. He cannot tank the Baron any longer. Oppenheimer committed to his Baron, though. They will take this down. Yuna's here. I don't think he wants to go for it. He does not have the assistance of his members. Oppenheimer actually posturing aggressively is Provecha, who continues to move forward. I think one more Q could have potentially spelled Granny Spanner's doom there on the spot, but he gets away. And Oppenheimer, with Baron buff, bought even more time for themselves. Somehow, Harvey's Angels, they had Elder. And still, Oppenheimer refused to budge. As the timer is about to hit 40 minutes, and this gold lead that Harvey's Angels have is just, you know, it might be like over 5,000, but at this point, it's starting to depreciate. Every point of gold right now is starting to matter less and less when these inventories are just getting filled up anyway. Now as we are firmly in the late game, it's all about how these champion kits interact with each other and who can actually play the fight on their terms. Oppenheimer, they cannot afford to get caught by any of the primary initiation tools that Harvey's Angels have, or else the fight is just going to end prematurely for them. And that's just going to be the game. They just want to keep the standoffs going as long as possible and just try and get some poke down. But the problem for them is they cannot really do so without approaching the front line of Harvey's Angels. Then they risk just getting initiated on, but that's a very nice flick from Luke Caruana. And that is just going to be a kill. No questions asked. The shutdown goes on to Luke Caruana. The wall kind of awkwardly separates Oppenheimer's members, but they will burn down this Ornn, I believe. He will fall without the assistance of his team. 5 members wailing down on him. It took a long time, but Oppenheimer managed to do it regardless, and it's a 5v3. As Oppenheimer finally will be able to take down the tier 1 mid-turret, and maybe even more than that. Now Yuna standing in Fog of War. He has Flash. He could be looking for a big flank here as Luke Caruana almost dies, but there's no Hemo Plague. I genuinely thought Yuna would just go for the entire combo, but instead, Luke Caruana escapes with his life. Time Gear wants to go forward. Now Yuna flashes in and goes in. Plenty of damage onto the backline members, and that's 3 kills actually. Smolder falls in the background, and Harvey's Angels finally got what they came for. And with these death timers being so high, I think this should just be the game. Harvey's Angels, I'm sure it took longer than they wished for, but the Nexus will fall at the end of the day. That's all that matters. They stand strong in the late game, and now their record is 5-5.